In a pre-arranged game of chess, Tien is forced to choose between the person who raised her and the person who claims to be her blood. But is kinship really what she is facing, or is it just a disguise made up of lies? Fire today. The truth will be revealed. An unexpected character appears, and Jack discovers something that makes him unable to keep silent any longer. You won't believe who is behind all these conspiracies? And why do all traces lead back to the same person that everyone thought was innocent? Right finger, don't look away. Because the next few seconds may completely change your thoughts about Tien's ex-mother-in-law and real parents. That afternoon, it was raining lightly. Tien stood under the porch in front of the farm, her eyes wet, not only because of the rain, but because she could no longer distinguish what was real and what was fake. In front of her, the middle-aged couple, who claimed to be her biological parents, were still earnestly holding her hand, telling the story of how she had been lost in a fire years ago. They brought along old photos, souvenirs, and familiar names that she had never heard. But what confused her was their eyes. Those eyes did not tremble like someone who had just found their blood relatives, but were full of calculation, too calm. Tien gently withdrew her hand, a feeling of unease rising in waves. Inside the house, her ex-mother-in-law, Mrs. Tui, was still sitting there, calmly pouring tea, as if everything was under her control. She just smiled. "My child, I told you, your biological parents are still alive. They just didn't have the means to find you. Now that you're back with them, I'm so happy." But in Tien's heart, everything was screaming. Why did she bring them here? And why did everything match up so perfectly? At the same time, Jack was driving through the rain, clutching the old letter that Uncle Hong had just given him. The letter was burned, the ink was smudged, but the last line was still clear. "If you read this, you must know, the child with the red birthmark on the back of her neck is our biological daughter. She was switched the night of the fire." Jack's heart was pounding. He knew Tien had a birthmark on the back of her neck. He had seen it one morning when she had tied her hair. The pieces in his mind were automatically coming together. Someone had intentionally changed Tien's identity, and the person behind it could be Mrs. Tui. When Jack arrived at the farm, he barged into the middle of the reunion. "Tien, you must not trust them. They are not your parents. This is a letter from your real biological mother, not them." The air seemed to freeze. The man's face changed, and Mrs. Tui immediately stood up, her voice faltering. "Jack, don't interfere in other people's family affairs." But Jack didn't stop. He looked straight into Tien's eyes. "If you want to know the truth, follow me. We still have a place to go. Someone has been waiting for you, for the past 20 years. It was getting dark. Jack's car rolled down the narrow dirt road leading to the deserted mountains. The only sounds around them were the rustling of dry branches and the wind howling through the leaves. Tien sat quietly beside him, her hand tightly holding the letter Jack had given her, her mind in turmoil. She no longer knew who to trust, but deep down, a part of her heart still believed that Jack had never lied to her. The car stopped in front of a dilapidated house, with patchy plaster walls and a rusty tin roof. A small bronze bell hung in front of the door, not ringing for a long time. Jack got out, signaling Tien to follow. She slowly walked forward, her heart pounding. This house had something familiar, like a blurry memory flashing through a childhood dream. Suddenly, from inside, a hoarse woman's voice echoed, carrying a sound that seemed to be broken. "Tien, where did you leave me again? I told you not to run behind the kitchen." "Tien." Tien was startled. She stopped. That sentence, word by word, sent a chill down her spine. Jack gently pushed the door open, and a scene met their eyes, a thin woman with disheveled hair, sitting by the charcoal stove, holding an old, broken doll, rocking it as if to a baby. She looked up when she saw Tien, her eyes filled with tears, and then burst into tears. "Oh my God, is that you? Tien, are you really alive?" Tien was stunned. Her eyes were so much like hers. The way she held her hand, trembling, was like flesh and blood finding each other after so many years of separation. In that moment, childhood memories flooded back, the smell of wet straw, The lullaby, the tight embrace in the middle of a stormy night. She burst into tears like a child. Jack stepped back, giving space to the mother and daughter. He knew, he was right. This was the real mother Tien had been searching for all these years. But before they could breathe a sigh of relief, a figure stood silently outside the window watching. It was Mrs. Tui. She clenched the phone in her hand, her eyes filled with anger and worry. She muttered, "No, she can't know the whole truth. If she knows, then everything is over." That night, after leaving the old house at the foot of the mountain, Tien did not say a word. Her face was pale, her eyes were blank. Jack wanted to ask, but knew that the answers could not come from him, but only from the person who had kept her in a cage for so many years. The next morning, Tien returned to the farm alone. The atmosphere here was strange, eerily silent. Mrs. Tui was sitting on the side of the road. When she saw her passing by, she smiled lightly. "You're back? Why didn't you stay longer with your crazy mother?" Tien stood still, her voice choked. "Why did you do that? You knew that woman was my biological mother, but you still tried to bring someone else to claim me? Why?" Mrs. Tui did not raise her head, her hands still watering, her voice even. "Because your biological mother has nothing. No money, no house, no education, cannot give you a good life. As for me, I just want to have some money to cover my living expenses." "Is that not possible?" Tien clenched her hands, tears welling up. Tien took steps towards Mrs. Tui, her voice trembling not because of fear, but because of anger. "You lied? You took advantage of Jack's trust. Took advantage of my desire to find my relatives to cheat him out of his money. You made it all up, from biological parents, to the touching story of separation, just to get money from everyone." Mrs. Nung took a step back, but still tried to keep her composure. "What are you talking about? Do you think this old woman is smart enough to create such a big drama?" Tien laughed, but it was a tearful laugh. "You're not smart. You're just too used to taking advantage of others. Jack trusted you. He was willing to give you all his money, to help me find my lost parents. But it turned out to be a scam." She pulled out her phone from her pocket and opened the recording. A man's voice rang out, the one who had pretended to be her real father. "You told us to just come on the right day, say what you wrote, and we would get paid double. As for the girl, it's pitiful to look at her. But that's okay. I'm just doing what you hired me to do." Mrs. Thai's face turned pale. Her hands trembled, but her mouth still tried to deny. That's fake. You faked the voice. You made it up to humiliate me." Jack walked in from behind, his eyes cold. He placed a stack of papers on the table, the transfer receipt, the statement from the impersonator, and Mrs. Thai's account statement. "The evidence is clear. You have nothing more to deny. What hurts me the most is that you dared to take advantage of Tien's true feelings." Tien could no longer stand firm. She stepped back, choking. "Did you ever truly love me? Or was I just a pawn, for you to save your honor? Your money, and the cover you've painted over the years?" This time, Mrs. Tui looked up. Her eyes were cold. Her voice was deep. "Yes, I set it up. Do you think you know everything? Then let me tell you the rest. Your mother once begged me to keep you, because she was kicked out of her husband's house, unable to raise her children. And your father, who is he? Are you sure you want to know?" Tien was stunned. Jack wanted to stop Mrs. Tui, but Tien raised her hand to signal. "You say it all, from beginning to end. I want to hear it from your own mouth." Mrs. Tui moved closer, leaned close to Tien's ear, and whispered, "Your father is someone who once wanted to kill both your mother and you. And now, he is coming back."
Cái dụng cụ này cũng có thể là một căn nhà khác. Bây giờ chúng ta sẽ làm một thành phố nhá. Ok không? Bằng gỗ hoặc bằng cái Lego. Bây giờ chúng ta làm như vậy không? Không còn
nhưng mà thành phố làm khó lắm.
Không, muốn làm nhà như nào cũng được. Mà nhà bé tí như này cũng được.
Làm nhà bé ơi, 4 như này thôi.
Bởi vì nó bảo là làm nhà của này. Đấy, bây giờ bọn mình cùng bắt tay vào làm.
Một thành phố à?
Vậy anh làm nhà đi.
Cái này thì chỉ được một xã thôi.
Không, một xã cũng là một thành phố. Tại vì lần đầu mình chơi nên vậy cứ Ủa sao rồi?
Để em kêu.
Nhưng mà nó